Are you tired of buying new clothes for your pet frog who keeps outgrowing its overalls, hopping around town in duds that are too short? Probably not, because frogs don't wear clothes. And you are most likely wondering, what the heck is she talking about? This is a fake ad, but if you or someone you know has a small business, imagine the real ad being placed here with the same artistic integrity, but genuine content. Email me at rooroosig@gmail.com to find out how to get your ad placed on the continuously growing podcast, The Story Chaser. Well, hi there, and welcome to my podcast where I invite you to run with me after memories and shape them into stories. On this show, I'll also share samples of my writing and interesting moments from everyday life. I'm your host, rooroosig, and you are listening to my podcast, The Story Chaser. Welcome back, loyal listeners. This is Season 4, Episode 5 of the Story Chaser podcast, and I am your host, rooroosig. I have a great show for you, because tonight I'm talking about, quote-unquote, living in the what if, a phrase I believe strongly in, and this is a guest episode. We have the pleasure of listening to Colin talk about his wild journey of becoming an MMA fighter at age 28. Living in the what if, we'll start with that. I recently traveled to Nashville, Tennessee, and I caught an afternoon set from a lovely singer called Tara. And after her performance, her and I had a long chat. We connected over shared love for the pursuit of a creative life. And we agreed that the road to fulfilling your dream is not always pretty. It's downright ugly at times. And there are plenty of days when your bank account amplifies its $5 balance, which only gives the naysayers and the doubters a more solid platform to repeat. And it's exhausting to carry your dream around, especially for artists like her, which means instruments and heavy equipment from location to location with hookups and sound checks. Tara is living music, and she was decorated beautifully in hints of suede and denim and turquoise, and she had a ring for every finger that glistened in the warm orange and light blue stage lights while she played the guitar, letting her deep, soulful voice fill the room, giving her everything to that performance. All of it to that crowd of 12 people, maybe, in a bar on a summer afternoon. All of it for the love of her art. Tara is living in her, what I call, quote-unquote, what if. The what if, or better known as the would've, should've, could've's that haunts too many folks later in life. The what if lives in long drives and the few minutes before falling asleep when the world is quiet enough to hear the inner voice ask, what if I picked up an instrument or a paintbrush or ever got on that stage or turned on a mic, wink, wink, or shoot, tried to start that business, whatever it is. It's far less frightening to do a what if now than to regret not doing it later. I know that for a fact. So I'm encouraging anyone out there with their own flicker of a dream. What if you tried it now? And later in life you could say, boy, I'm so glad I did. And of course, there are a few dreams that actually do have a window of time for their entirety. Which brings me to tonight's guest. Joining us to discuss that is the delightful and inspiring Colin, and how possible he believes he is.
There you go.
Wonderful. So I'm in Chicago right now. Where are you? Somewhere exotic.
I just moved to Tulum. I flew back from, I've been to like four cities in the last 4 days, so it's been a lot. I literally just got back 15 minutes ago, so I set up and I'm ready for this.
Oh my gosh. So that's kind of funny because I just got back from work 15 minutes ago. So I was kind of getting my questions ready and setting up. And in Chicago, we've been having some pretty terrifying. Like there's potential for a tornado tonight, which we're
Mhm.
all kind of used to. So I like if a twister comes, I'll probably just like pick up the laptop and be like running and talking to you. And like it's it's insane. Yeah. Yeah, I was just saying that I just closed all the windows so it gets really hot in here, but I don't like the outside sounds to like, compromise the integrity of everything. So anyway, I was just describing my setting. So if I start to like be dripping sweat, you know why. It's like really hot. Um, so hello and welcome. I will expect you to introduce yourself to everyone. So we have Colin here. Hi, Colin, and tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hey Jill, thank you so much for having me. So right now I'm working on this documentary. It's called Impossible, and the goal is to start pretty late as a dad, almost hitting 30, and with almost no experience trying to become a champion in MMA, like in the UFC. So there's a bunch of things that led up to that, but that's the main thing that I'm doing right now.
Okay. I look at you and I think, okay, so first of all, your name, Colin, I see like, somebody like an intellectual, like somebody who's going to like teach a class or like have a pair of glasses on and rest the arm on like Colin, like, so I, I would think if you're going into the ring, like your name should be something like Brutus or like Knife, like I'm coming for you. Like Colin is so, and you're so cheerful and so like bright. And how does that affect or feed into your fighting? The fact that you're so nice.
Yeah,
Does that affect
one of
it?
yeah, it does. Because one of the things that my boxing trainer when I was in New York was saying is we were hitting the pads and we were going over like the technique of like the jab and the cross and the hook and all these different techniques, and I was doing really well, picking it up really fast. And he was so proud of me. And then we were going to show it in the ring with like a situational sparring session. We would just focus on one or two techniques, and the other person would defend. And suddenly my technique was gone because I was so concerned about hurting the other person that there was just no
Ah,
technique left. And I thought I was really like trying really hard, and I was like sweating and breathing really heavy. And luckily we have like three camera people like recording everything. And I really thought I was like giving it maybe like 60, 70%. But looking back, I was maybe doing it 10%. I forgot all technique. I was just like holding back all punches, and it looked like nothing. So that's been something that I'm still overcoming actually.
wow, that's interesting. Okay, so since then, have you gotten more, aggressive about that, like understanding more of an understanding in the technique, like I have to do this, this is part of it, type mentality?
Yeah, I'm still very focused on the technique and the skill set of things. That's the thing that intrigues me the most. But one of the things that helped me is one of my sparring partners. I think he's a professional boxer, has been doing this for like 15 years, and he was a bit crazy. So he took off his headgear and he's just like hit me in the face, like hit me in the face, like as hard as you can. And I was like right. And then like I punched him maybe like 50% in the face, and he's just like he shrugs it off like it's nothing, and it's like good. Now don't waste my time and like hit me in the face properly. So there are people like that, like the Bruters or the Knife, and they've been helping me quite a bit to overcome that specific aspect of it.
You have a really good skin for somebody that fights. What's your regimen there, might I add? I mean, you have very glowing skin. You have
I,
no markups.
I have no regimen at all. I think it's
You're just
I,
28.
well, I think it comes from the inside, but again, it's unfair to say because I'm still relatively young in that sense.
Mhm.
But I think the beautiful skin comes from the inside. So it's what you put in the body that shows on the outside. I don't think it's just only putting creams on your face and working on the outside.
Yep.
It's the skin is created from the inside.
Yep,
So
you're right. You're right. You wear what you put in. Yeah, great. I might need the
ask
recipe
me
for that
again in a
green
couple of
juice.
months.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. When you've got a swollen, you're holding ice up and you've got a scar now here. And yeah, yeah. I wanted to ask you that. Do you call yourself like I'm an MMA, meaning mixed martial artist, or are you an MMA fighter? I was wondering what's proper.
Good question. I think I'm both. I like the art of it. Like for
Yeah.
me, the science is what's interesting. I like the basic frameworks of not getting hit and hitting the other person and really refining my technique and just being superior in my technique, even though I'm starting more late. Whereas a lot of people they rely just on their strength or like just um they take pride in like if you hit me, yeah, I'm gonna hit you back. For me, it's more about I want to make this a science. Like I want to get to the point where I take much less damage than you.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, yeah. Football players talk about stuff like that, technique, how to fall the right way, how to get away from somebody. Yeah, yeah. Okay. Um, and then so I emailed you a question. I- The magnitude of 28. Now, 28 is young to me. You know, I'm 48. So I look at you and I'm like, you're so young. Why is that considered older to get into MMA? Why is that? What's the magnitude of that? Why is that like so? Because I know that's the root of your documentary too. It's like, what is this guy thinking? Make us understand why that is old for fighting.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, think about a basketball player. Like they start when they're really, really young and then they get drafted and then they go through professional training. And then at 28, like that's towards the peak of their career. And next month I'll be 29. And it looks like most people they hit the ending of their peak at like 32. So I would have about 3 years to learn from almost no experience to get good enough to compete on the world stage and to compete against people that have been training since they're 4, 5, 6 years old with the
Okay.
best people in the world.
Okay.
So it's yeah, it's quite a lot.
Wow. Wow. So I also asked you when this idea was born in the moment it was. I mean, like I don't think you were like walking down the street having an ice cream saying, "Hey, I think I'll be an MMA." When did this idea come to you and when did you really decide I'm going to go for this? What was the moment?
Yeah, there were actually two moments. I always felt myself drawn to mixed martial arts, but I never trained. Maybe I tried like a lesson here and there. Like I think I did like in total maybe 2 weeks of boxing training in the last 10 years. So almost nothing. But I always felt like if I would commit to this, I think I could get really good at this. But I always tried to start a few online businesses, and that gave me enough money to travel and kind of live that like traveling nomad lifestyle. Um, and that gave me a lot of fulfillment, happiness. But eventually I had a son, and I was like, is this kind of what I want to be known for? Somebody who just starts a few small online businesses, is comfortable, but doesn't really do anything extraordinary, even though I felt like I was capable of that. And then from that point on, I just started looking at my options. So it was almost like me licking that ice cream and be like, what else? What else can I do? Because it's comfortable, but there's something missing. Like this would be almost like a waste of my life because I was okay, good, but I could have been so much more. And two things really came to mind, and the first one is something that I might do in the next 5 to 10 years, which was I want to have my own city. Like I literally want to build my own city. Um, but I feel like right now it's too early for that. And then on top of that, I have maybe 3 or 4 years left in my physical prime, according to most people. So some people say it can go on for much longer. So I was like, I might regret it if I don't max out like the physical stats of me because I will never get that moment back. And then I have the next 40, 50 years to work on building cities or something like that. So that's how it came about.
Wow. Okay, well, you're falling right in line with, like I said, tonight's theme, which is living in the what if. And let me explain to you what I mean by that. Mind in the creative world for artists, dreamers. My show is mostly draws in dreamers, people that dream big and are go after things, and much like you're living this. So living in the what if is the idea of like later in life when people look back and say, what if I tried this? Something that they've never done. I look at, like me writing for my show, writing, performing, always active in the arts, even though I work another job that's entirely different. This is like what I do with my free time. I'm living in my what if. I don't want later to say, I wish I had or what if. So you're someone who's living in the what if, and there are a lot of people that have listened to my show that have come to me and have said, written in, or people that I know and said, I, I feel really inspired. I think I'm going to try painting, or I'm going to pick up that instrument I always wanted to. I'm like, go do it. Yes, no matter the age, because it's a little different than MMA fighting. People that are 50, I would say, don't do that. That would be a really bad idea because you'll get really hurt. But, other adventures in life. And I think that's beautiful, to live in the what if. So you sound like you have quite a few what ifs that are extraordinary and you're living in them. What would you say to somebody who wants to quit? Whatever it is that they're doing. And have you ever been in a position where you're like, or a moment in time in your training, anywhere where you're like, I'm just going to quit this?
Yeah, actually, I would say the last 15 years of my life have been mostly going for what I'm passionate about or what excites me. And then I didn't pursue it to the maximum of my capabilities. Like I've been to so many different countries now over the last 10 years. I left home when I was 18, um, started many, many businesses, but it was usually just about getting enough money to live for the next 3 to 6 months without working very much. And then just really enjoying life, going surfing in Costa Rica, like really, like almost like a life that most people would envy. But the thing that I realized that I left on the table is the consistency to keep going even when it would become difficult. And what I would say to those people is for me, for example, I never made a conscious choice to truly become world class at something because I think I never really went over all my options, like all of them, and then eliminated all of them that weren't the right fit, and then really listened to my gut and really sat with myself and like, this is the one thing. And with this specific mission, I mean, it hasn't been going on for that long, but for the last 10 weeks, I've never been more disciplined. Yeah, nothing is really getting into my way. Like this is going to happen. Like I've done a few other podcasts in that sense,
Mhm.
and they've been like, well, what if you don't feel like it? Like, what if it doesn't happen this way? What if you get injured? And it almost doesn't even resonate with me. Like I have to logically think about that question because my response is like, no, like it doesn't even register. So I think getting to such a level where it's almost like delusional, where anything other than yes doesn't make sense. And then you
Mm.
kind of bypass the whole distraction or no motivation thing because it's not even in your reality.
Mm. Thinking about that, and you don't have to name names or anything like that, but if I were to ask you, is there anybody close to you in your life that has said to you, don't do this, it's dangerous? Do you have like a list of people that go through your head right away or multiple conversations where you've had to defend this?
Yeah, most people that are actually very good at the sport itself, any of them like judo, boxing, wrestling, MMA itself, they've been quite negative or not very helpful towards this journey. Um, and you would think that would make me very sad, but I'm very grateful that I've started a few businesses, so I know that I have to kiss a lot of frogs to fight my princess. And I've really looked at like who has done what I've done. And the people that have become world champions or trained with world champions, um, I've probably met 17 world champions in the last 10 weeks. And all but one person has been like, so 16 have been incredibly supportive. Like
Mm.
for them, it's the same as like they tested me, they tried to kill me, destroy me, taught me techniques, and then they were like, no, you can do this. Like, and then it wasn't even in the reality that I couldn't do it. So everybody who achieved the goal that I wanted to achieve, they were super supportive. And then the ones that didn't achieve what I wanted to achieve, they were trying to pull me down. Like that crab bucket example, when one crab tries to get out of the bucket, all the other crabs pull them down. That's almost how it how it has been feeling the last 2 months, 2.5 months.
Wow. Take us through a training day. Tell me what time it starts and like what goes on there, if you can.
Yeah, well, my trainer just broke his foot, so I'm
Oh
I'm
no.
making some adjustments, but I'll tell you how it's supposed to look like. That's why I just came back from Mexico City because I was exploring different gyms because we had a challenge of within the next 8 weeks do my first professional boxing fights without doing any amateur fights. So quite a big goal because especially with boxing, people start very early.
Yeah.
And then the goal was to do a professional boxing fight, professional Muay Thai fight, grappling, and then putting everything together in the next 6 months for the first probably pro MMA fight, if that's possible. So we really had some high hopes, high expectations, and then my main trainer like broke his foot. So I have to find a new gym. But the way it looked like was I would wake up at about 5 or 6 in the morning. Then I would do some kind of energy work, some kind of qigong, or qigong, like some very slow yoga meditation, something like that kind of brings my energy back because it's this the energy of doing this is a lot of like go, go, go. And the best people told me like you have to have moments where you can shut it off and actually focus on calming your whole system down. And if you don't have those moments, then you're going to be stuck. So early in the morning, I do something like that for like 30 minutes. Um, then I usually drink some kind of green juice, and then I start with my training, which is usually on my own because most trainers don't wake up that early. So it's some kind of like shadow boxing, some kind of going through visualizations of what I've done the last day. And then the first session starts at 7 a.m. And that's about 1 to 2 hours, sometimes 3 hours, depending on how I feel. Then usually a nap or a lot of food. And I eat during the sessions as well to make sure that I don't go hungry. And then I repeat that cycle 3 or 4 times. So it's like training 1, 2 hours, rest 30 to 90 minutes, training 1, 2 hours, rest 30 to 90
Hmm.
minutes, and just repeat that for 4 times. And then in the evening, I try to watch tape or videos of people that are just amazing, and then just visualizing what has happened during the day.
Is that 7 days a week?
Uh, s- I would like to do 7 days a week, but my trainers don't let me do like they only let me do 6 days a week. But I
Okay.
think I can do 7 days a week, at least right now, because it's
Yeah.
still a lot of it is not like uh, kill the other person. A lot of it is like very slow, like breaking down what is a jab. And how does that work? How do you specifically pivot your foot? Like, how do you move forward? How do you move backwards? So it's not crazy intense right now. It's mostly about making sure I get the technique perfect and then going from slow to a bit faster, a bit faster, a bit faster. And then introducing the situations where I can use it, making them my own, and then going to the next one and the next one and the next one until we get through everything.
Do you get hurt at all? Do you have bruises and stuff on you? I mean, this is like some pretty serious. I don't know much, but I was preparing to like talk with you, and I was like talking with a few people like they break legs and bite and all. I'm like, what? Oh my goodness. I know a little bit about martial arts. I had a friend who taught martial arts, and I know a little bit about Bruce Lee. I love like studying him, but other than that, I mean, are you injured at all? Like, do you have like I said, bruises and stuff like that all over you?
Yeah, at the moment, no bruises. I do have both my shoulders are a bit painful. It's from a past dislocation that I'm actually working through. I might get stem cells or something that could really bring it back to 100%. Um, and then my thumb itself, I twisted it the wrong way when I was trying grappling with the youth world champion of the world. And I finally had a good move on him, and then I hesitated for like a split second, and then he turned into my thumb, and then it kind of like bent the wrong way. So
Oh,
I'm still feeling my thumb, and I feel my shoulders, but other than that, no bruises, no scratches, no pain. Energy is good, so
that's great.
not too bad. Yeah,
And you're filming. Okay, so Colin is, I don't know if we even mentioned this yet, like all the way, but he is making a documentary about his journey. And well, we did. You introduced it. You said I'm making impossible. Do you play on the words of that? Like I watched you in that other podcast, and it was like this I'm possible. Was that your in the title? Did you have that as a play on words in that? Like
yeah.
impossible,
Matt
impossible.
Cohen, like Hollywood celebrity and producer, he actually
Uh-huh.
came up with the name. He's like, what if we just play with the words? Like, what if because most words have been taken and most brand names have been taken. And he's like, this mission is literally impossible. Like the chances of success is like 0.01%. Um, but let's just change them. We just only highlight the I am and then possible, right? So I am possible. And
Yeah.
it's kind of like the even the logo we have like I am highlighted differently than possible. So that's been a fun little joke.
Cool.
Yeah.
Do you find yourself Like, so I think about it like if I dropped something and I'm alone, I'm kind of like, oh, darn it. And I clean it up. But if somebody else is present and I drop something, the theatrics really grow into it. Like, damn it, I can't believe it. Like, I find myself like, you know, overreacting because someone else is there. Do you put a little bit more performance into your training? Because they're filming your training, right? Like, that's what I saw in the trailer. Do you
Yeah.
find yourself kind of amping it up when the cameras are around just by natural, like, oh, someone's watching, like an instinct, like to kind of amp it up a little bit? Or you just go, is it all?
The biggest thing for me is actually making sure that the cameras are on point because for the first few, I had Matt Cohen, like who was producing everything.
Hmm.
And even while he was producing, I was still correcting the camera people while I'm going through hell. And that's really not not the best thing to do because I'm like camera guy, what are you doing right there? You're not shooting everything. He's like shoot this right as I'm basically being
Oh my
destroyed by
God.
these world champions. So he
Yeah.
really emphasized like even if the quality will be slightly less, like you have to
It's a little
just be.
hyper, isn't it? I'm gonna be everybody in the room. It's all
So,
that
so
green juice you were drinking.
yeah. But it's also because I am putting all my own money on the line. Like
Yeah,
don't,
yeah.
I haven't taken on any investors right now. No sponsors at the moment, just because I've had some offers and they were amazing, but I would have compromised integrity in a
Hmm.
sense. You know, like gambling companies or like trainers that want like full exclusivity and they have some brain damage, and you might not want to be have them have full control over you because they can't remember your own name.
Sure. Jeez.
So I've had
And
I've
there.
had yeah. I've had some amazing offers in that sense, but I like it's hard to say no to a lot of money. But right now, I can still pay for it myself. But eventually, we do want to have some sponsors that I feel aligned. But that also is the thing where I'm putting all of this on me, so don't
Yeah.
slack around me as I'm training 7, 8, 9 hours a day.
That's wonderful. So, it's occurring to me just now that you also have a creative vision for this. Like you're seeing it, the cinematography of it in your mind, how you want the doc to be presented as you're in it. That's your mind is going a lot of different ways. That's pretty fantastic.
Yeah, and eventually that shouldn't be the case. But right now, yeah,
Yeah,
still,
you should
I'm
really be.
directly talking to the editing team. I'm directly talking to the videographers. I make sure that everything gets on this specific website frame.io, and then they can review it in a specific way. And then I make sure that, yeah, I'm right now still involved with everything. But I assume when more sponsorships comes in, then I can just hire maybe like a slightly more dedicated team to this. Because right now I still have them part time. I don't have a 3-person team that is with me 10 hours a day. So just have them like once or twice a week to get the specific shots to show the progression. Otherwise, it's also too much. Like last time we shot for 2 days, last week we shot for 2 days and we had like, what did we have like 8 terabytes of footage? And then the editing team has to go through it and like 8 terabytes is a lot. Like the
Hmm.
Google Drive limit is like two terabytes for most people. So 4 times as much in 2 days and it's hundreds of hours of footage.
How many hours do you sleep at night? I mean, is it three, four?
This week has been less because I've been traveling to so many different cities, but this week has probably been about 4 or 5, but
Oh,
I do really think sleep is the biggest superpower that we have. So I would like to have it
yeah,
back to like 8, 9
yeah.
hours at night.
Yeah, that would be great for you, so you can stay 28, not wake up 82.
Right.
Like
Right.
tomorrow, like maybe my name is Knife.
Maybe
Um,
that's how it works.
yeah, right. Yeah, maybe that'll make you a real grumpy fighter. Um, so is there it would it be all right if I put the trailer in the comments for this
Of
episode of
course,
this?
yeah.
Okay, great. Kind of promote it a little bit. What else is on your mind? What did you have in mind to say here on the Story Chaser? I mean, we chase stories. So, I mean, without giving, I would imagine you've got some stipulation, like you're not gonna, there's things you want to save for the documentary. So I was wondering that. I'm like, what will you talk about? I know you said you have a little boy. I saw that in the trailer too. How old is he?
It's gonna be 3 in 10 days. So
Ah,
yeah,
that's
he's the
nice.
biggest inspiration for this because without him, I probably would maybe have just started another small business. And with this one, I had to sell shares of my, I own 20% of a farm in Phoenix. So I sold my shares, well, a little bit more of a system to it, but I sold my shares and I was like, all in on this. Like, let's make it happen. So if about like 3, 4 more months of runway, and then by then something should have happened. But that also would mean we have 4 full documentary episodes shot with that I want to. I will have done a professional boxing fight, professional Muay Thai fight. Grappling training is almost complete, and we'll be pretty far along the way then after
Okay.
that stuff. But yeah, the big thing is my son, and also I it almost makes me a bit sad when I go through Netflix or movies and TV shows. It's very hard to find a male role model in that sense who's honest about what's happening. It's either like I'm too macho, like I'm too much, or I'm trying to degrade myself because the woman is smaller than me or whatever the sitcom is displaying. And I think it should be a really nice balance where everybody gets the respect they deserve, like the whole family unit in that sense, all the trainers, all the people around me, and just show the real side. If I get injured, if I get sad, if I get depressed, if I am winning, if I'm like, just show everything. Like, just don't hide any side of you just because you want to look better.
Okay. Yeah. The spirituality of this. This is a Christian gym that you train in? Is that right?
In Miami, the grappling gym is Christian, yeah.
So they do a prayer before.
Before every session, yeah.
Ah, I like that.
It's you
That's
feel a
cool.
different energy too. Like, you feel more safe. Like, whether you believe in it or not, like, you just feel more safe.
Hmm.
You're like, if even if you don't believe in it, but you consciously are like, people are taking a moment to actually respect one another and actually just go inside instead of just like kill, kill, kill. Yeah, that has made a big difference. And in that gym alone, there are like 8 world champions, so it's a good place to be.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you said you have enough documentation for about 4 episodes right now. And then when is the fight, the first fight?
It was supposed to be in 6 weeks, but because my trainer broke his foot,
Oh, right, right,
I'm
right. Yeah.
I'm I'm deciding what to do because I have 2 incredible trainers. According to ChatGPT, this is the best Muay Thai coach on the planet, Arjan Pipa. But I would have to go to Thailand, and the mom doesn't want to go to Thailand. So I don't really want to miss a second with my son. So that's something that we're going back and forth on what are the options. But that would be my ideal goal, to rebound right away and maybe not do boxing right away, but do Muay Thai right away. Spend 8 weeks there, then my trainer's foot will be healed, and then we can go back to boxing, and then we don't lose much time. But yeah, there are a bunch of logistical considerations, including like video team. Will I fly all of them out, or will I get a new team? Um, yeah, including, does the trainer have time to drop everything and work with me full time? There's some considerations to go into.
Okay. Okay. Well, it was really great having you. Is there any other final do you want to say anything to all the dreamers out there? Like, you're in a major what if right now. You're like, what if tomorrow
Yeah.
I don't have a trainer? But I get it. I mean, you're building the plane as you fly it in a sense. I mean, it's remarkable.
Yeah, I would just say do it. Like, and also don't just go for the first dream. Like, figure out what is the best dream you
Mhm.
can go for, right? Because some dreams might turn out to be nightmares. So think carefully before you choose
It's
what
so
dream you're going to
cute.
pursue, and then you commit.
Go for it all. I mean, why not and what if? Try it. Just be really careful, Colin. Yikes. All right. Well, thank you so much for coming on. I know you had a long day, and I hope you get the 6 to 7 hours tonight.
Should be good. Tonight will be a good night of sleep.
Yeah, for sure.
Sounds
And
good. Thank you so much,
I'll
Jill.
work on the outro too. I'll talk about, encouraging folks to watch the doc when it comes out. Like I said, I'll put the trailer on. It was really great to like finally talk with you.
You're amazing, Jill. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Have a wonderful night.
Same to you. I'm gonna head to bed actually, like right
Yeah,
after.
don't
So
blame you. Don't blame you. Do it. Okay.
sounds good. Okay, we'll connect soon.
Yeah, have a good one. The link to Colin's upcoming documentary, Impossible, is in the notes of this episode. Good night, Colin. I believe in your what if. It will take you to the ring. And good night, Tara. I believe your what if will shine your name in bright lights. And good night, loyal listeners. Keep tuning in to my living what if here on The Story Chaser. Well, this is as good a place as any to end this episode. My name is rooroosig, and I thank you for listening to The Story Chaser. Remember, there are stories everywhere. The key is to focus in on the little memories to find the bigger moments. My promise to you is that I'll keep chasing those stories. Be well, folks, and go ahead. Have a wonderful life.